time to make my motherfucking money back. Oh.
My ongoing question all of the time is, why are they like this? Hi, my name is Sydney, welcome back to hell. And this video is exclusively sponsored by my company, Lions Tea Exchange, because as you all know, I have a ton of tea that is expiring at the end of November, although tea doesn't really expire because it's a dried item, but I am running a 50% off sale on my site for Earl Grey, New York Breakfast, and Emerald Green using the code We Don't Waste. So many of you are incredibly cool and epic because you have helped me clear so much of this. I hate throwing tea away. I hate throwing product away. It's horrible. So now, we have talked a lot on this channel about Disney and its many, many failings, but I am personally of the hope that the company will eventually learn to pull its butt out of its butt, and maybe that day is today. Who's doing lots of fun rhymes? Now, some of you may or may not remember, but back in early 2025, Disney decided to stop production of its live-action adaptation of the film Tangled, which was originally released in 2010. For those of you who don't know, Tangled is Disney's version of Rapunzel, and it's very cute. And I like the horse Maximus, and Mother Gothel is kind of a vibe. I don't know what to tell you. The original film did reasonably well with audiences, grossing almost $600 million, which is likely why Disney decided it would take a run at it as its next remake victim. However, and I do always love when there's a however, after their remake of Snow White fell in an absolute heap this year, Disney finally got the message, it seems, that people were over the whole live-action adaptation thing. And more specifically, live-action adaptations that have improperly cast lead actresses and creepy CGI people. What am I looking at here? I also have to add for the 40th time at this stage that I don't quite understand what's live action about a film that is still majority animated. I don't like this. Anyway, Disney went ahead and decided to pause Tangled, which weirdly enough brought relief to a bunch of people. There are entire Reddit threads of people celebrating. I'm not sure what to make of this, but you know, it's here on the internet for you to see. And to some, of course, the timing of this pull was a little bit weird because number one, if you don't have anything to hide, then why hide anything at all? Which is why there was also a ton of speculation that this Rapunzel would have been anything but white. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your braids, I guess, maybe, I don't know, leave me alone. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, throw us your weave? Maybe? Which, you know, you can't blame people for making that assumption given Disney's recent track record. How did this man produce this many different racial children? Someone please explain this to me. And honestly, this wasn't even too far off base given that black actress Francesca Rivers was potentially going to play Rapunzel in the remake of Tangled. Now, the reason that I don't want to harp on this too much is because it was completely speculative. I could not find any good or trustworthy sources reporting on this, and it may just well have been an internet rumor, but it does go to show that people have been subjected to this so much that they fully believed that Disney would be so crazy as to cast this woman in this role, which obviously makes zero sense. And number two, it's like Snow White was not the first remake at all to fail, so if its failure was so big that it caused the company to reevaluate, well, I have some questions around that. Why go back to doing remakes at all? I don't know. Disney are just, they're money grubby, guys. They're very money grubby. But because it's the modern era, and despite fans and viewers begging for new well-written content and stories and productions, Hollywood has apparently learned nothing, and instead Tangled is back on the books. But apparently it will be different this time. According to Hollywood insider Matthew Belloni, Disney is about to cast new Rapunzel in the revived live-action remake Tangled, and I'll bet you the price of that long-braided wig that the gig will go to a white actress. This is what he wrote. That's a quote. Sorry if that wasn't clear. The headline I also have on screen here is much more succinct, which says, Disney is set to hire a white actress to star in its latest reboot after dumping DEI amid woke fury. Also accurate. I mean, yeah, you'd think so given that Rapunzel's whole story is around her being blonde with long hair, and typically white people are blonde. I don't know about the long hair part, but definitely the blonde part. Same with redheads. Oh, I forgot. We don't care about things like that anymore. Ignore me. Full disclosure, all of this is speculative at this stage, but Belloni adds, oh my god, I just realized that his name sounds like bologna, like the food bologna. It's not spelled like that, but that's all I can think of now. Anyway, yeah, so he adds that he got his hands on an internal email distributed within Disney, which basically said that it was disbanding its DEI initiatives, and the company intended to empower everyone instead of select groups. Okay, better late than never, I guess. In short, Belloni said that Disney is very afraid of Trump and Elon and the culture war that it is currently losing. Can't imagine for the life of me why they'd be losing the culture war. Yeah. Belloni... Belloni? Belloni? Filoni also gave a bunch of examples of the ways Disney has recently shifted away from its diversity initiatives, gutting film development areas that might get the company into trouble, removing its Reimagine Tomorrow website that served as a hub for diversity initiatives, and I will assume she'll probably be an accurate-looking Rapunzel, at least as far as the Tangled movie goes. Which oddly shouldn't be controversial, but it is, because, I don't know, I guess everything is dumb and irrational. The bottom line is that apparently, after getting kicked repeatedly in the head by audiences and having horrifically bad performing movies and content, Disney is finally somewhat leaning into what people have been asking for. Or in the very least, their pockets hurt enough that they have finally realized that what they're doing is not working. That being destroying beloved classics, race-swapping characters left and right, getting overly political, and appealing to the activists outside and inside their company, which is obviously a failing initiative. And now they're making an attempt to purge all the things that got them in hot water over the last little while and led to the numerous and catastrophic box office failures that they've had, like Lightyear and Snow White. And obviously, Disney isn't just doing this with relation to its princess films. Some of you might remember a video I made towards the end of August where I told you all that Disney was on the hunt for new original IP in an effort to win back or win over, maybe for the first time, Gen Z men. Yes, the very demographic they have been calling racist and sexist for years now. Yes, it is a true mystery why the menfolk are not interested. Truly, I am shocked. Again, the revelation was extremely ironic given the nature of the two major male-orientated media properties Disney controls, that being Star Wars and Marvel. And maybe Indiana Jones to a lesser extent? Do we still like him? Is that still like is that still the collective thing? Do people like him? I mean, I do. Daddy Jones can grace my television screen anytime he wants. The young version. That one with the hat and the, you know, the quips. If you would like to watch that video where I actually go over this, I will happily link that in the description box for all of you, so you can watch that in your own time. But jokes aside, looking at these two things side by side, the desire to appeal to young men with new written content, new made content, and realizing that race swapping isn't working, and in